I cannot believe that we have owned our homestead 3-acre property for 5 years, all in our 20s, and it has been a roller coaster of maturing and learning. And I thought it'd be useful today to give you guys 3 tips that you can take with you if you're in your process of getting a homestead, buying a house. I think these 3 tips will serve your mindset well when you're looking into getting a property, or you're just starting out, or maybe you're in the middle of it and you're feeling stressed out. I'm hoping these will give you some guidance, some positive vibes, and put you in the right direction of building your dream. First thing I want to mention is you need so much less space than you think. When I was looking at homesteads, I wasn't sure how much an acre really was coming from the city. We ended up on 3 acres, and I think we have plenty of space. In fact, I would probably be okay with 2. I'm a little bit biased because my parents bought 20 acres next door, so I have a lot of extra space to play on now. But we did own this property for 6 months before they bought their house, and in that time we were on the 3 acres. I think 3 acres is an overwhelming amount. There's a lot to do and a lot to see, and we live on flat usable acreage. I can only imagine if you had to maintain a forest or something like that on your property. So thinking small is definitely okay. I do think that having pasture space becomes very important, but also you don't want your animals in your garden space, so biggest thing there is just fencing, but you don't need that much space. In fact, it's more to fence. So think about that when you're picking your homestead, and don't feel like you need to get a big old space. If you don't even want to have livestock, you could think a lot smaller too. Next big one is something you should walk through life believing, in my opinion, and it's that you can always create better in the current moment. So I'll give you an example, but I have many. If you see that there's some free windows and your dream is to have a glass window greenhouse, maybe go scoop them for free while you're in the big city and it's easier to have access to like lots of free stuff. Like people down where I live value free windows. You're not going to find those readily available on the free. But if you go to a major city 2 hours, 3 hours from me, you could find those abundantly for free. So get what you can, find the good in the moments that you're in, because there's so much good, I promise. This is what I'm still learning, but it is to learn to let the land work for you instead of always laboring over the land. It's wordy. An example I can give is that I don't like to grow in raised beds very much. The reason for that is you put so much surface level effort into it by building the beds, putting the dirt in, setting that intention that you're going to grow there forever. And something can come up and just gopher into your space and it's done. Whereas people tell you to do that because you don't want gophers to live in there, but I find that growing in the ground, I don't have issues. You can move your plots easier, because if you start to get an issue and you want to change location, you just let that smooth over, grow over, move down a little bit, go where you need to go on your property and replant. Whereas if you've committed to that bed process, you've really laid yourself deep into that laboring on the land rather than just letting it work for you. Set the seeds out and let nature do its work. You don't need to make it that hard. Granted, there can be some discouraging moments when bugs get a hold or whatever, but my point is just to lean into the land and listen to what it needs from you a little bit more than you feel the need to just manipulate it and do what you want it to do. Another example I'll give you is herbs. If you mow your lawn religiously like all of your neighbors around you do, because it's a perpetuated thing that you need to keep grass down to prevent fire risk. I have my opinions about that. Again, I'll keep them to myself. My point is that if you don't mow them, you will find so many medicinal herbs that just pop up that are native to wherever you live. And I encourage you to 1 year not mow it right away and just see what comes up. Take pictures of it on Google search and see what medicinal properties those plants have, and maybe consider growing some medicinal herbs in your yard instead of whacking it down to be dirt. Owning a homestead for 5 years in our 20s has taught us a lot, and I have way more than 3 tips that I could share. So if you want some more, I could give you some tea, I could give you some funny ones. So just let me know if this video interested you by giving it a thumbs up and subscribe. Let me know you watched the whole thing by commenting elephant, because we love elephants here. If you're thinking about getting a homestead, let me know. I'm so curious where everybody's at in their journey and what kind of viewership I have here. So comment what your deal is. I will comment back and send you some love. In fact, might even send you some stuff if you want it to get you started. I love seeing people out here harvesting the land, living their best life, being as free as possible. So I'll see you guys later. When in doubt, love it out.